All right, so day 3 involves step 5, step 6, and step 7. So we're going to start. We have all these incomes and all these rents. And so we're going to try and see whether or not there's a relationship between income and how much somebody spends on rent. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make a scatter plot. So all these incomes down here, and then the rents are over here. So you're going to find a point. Let's see if I can do one of these. So 62,472 is right about here. And then 1,200 is right about here. So that's where my dot goes. I'm going to erase this other dot. So that's where my dot goes. Maybe I can do one more. 97,024.50. 97,024.50 is right about right here. So you're going to plot all the points. And then we're going to put all these points on your calculator. I'm going to go to Stat, go to Edit, and put all the points in, then go to Stat and Calc. And then you're going to get the equation for the line. And then try and figure out what conclusions can we make. Do you think someone's income is related to someone's rent? And then for step 6, we need to write some inequalities that show if your budget works within reason. So one metric is whether or not your expenses are less than your income. And so theoretically, your expenses should be less than your income. Let's see if mine was true. So my income was $4,084. And let's see if it was less. I'm going to double check. My expenses where did I have my expenses? So it's going to be all these numbers here. So I'm going to add up my rent, add up my utilities, my groceries, my transportation, my insurance, my loans, my wants, my savings. I'm going to add everything up. All my expenses. And I'm going to put that right here. And so, assuming it's less, I would explain I did a good job budgeting because, and you're going to explain. Or you might say, I did a bad job budgeting because, and you're going to explain. Another example might be what we did in step 4. So for example, I might look at my needs. I might add up my needs, and maybe it came to 60%. If it came to 60%, I might say my needs were greater than 50%. I can put 60% is going to be greater than 50%. And I can explain, I did a poor job budgeting because, and I can explain, I spent way too much on my needs. I'm willing to bet most people spent too much on their rent. So you might explain that my rent was too high and that made my needs budget way too high. And I might, for the last one, I might put my wants. I might say my wants were less than, supposed to be 30%. And then I'm going to go back to my wants, figure out whatever was left over in my wants. And I'm going to put it right here. So whatever I put for my wants, I don't know the number I came to. Let's say it came to $1,000. And it's supposed to be $1,200. I might explain, I did a good job budgeting because you're going to explain how your wants were less than 30% of your income. So you did a good job budgeting. All right. And the last part. So you're looking at everything. You're looking at all the inequalities, reflecting on how you did on your budget, on your income, all your expenses, everything. What is something you would change in order to balance it? What is something that you would do differently? What's something in your budget, anywhere in the project, that you feel like you would change in order to make things more balanced? You're going to explain that right here. And then what's something that you feel like you learned? What's something that feels useful to you from this project? After you graduate, you're going to have to manage your money. So try and reflect on something from this project that felt helpful to you.